Hey, what's up? I'm filming this right now. As many of the people who watch these postings, you know that I don't really excel in editing. I might excel at editing at another point in my life. It's just not happening right now. So, room's a mess. Gonna work on that. Keeping in mind that there are certain things that are at the forefront of my brain that I am definitely able to comment on. Just keeping the narrative going and comparing to the things that I was saying yesterday about what to focus on, and specifically the thing to focus on is focus and how I can improve in that skill. It's difficult. The word that comes to mind so far as individual pursuits is dealing with the feeling of demotivated as things have I hate to sound like a broken record. I really do. Things have been tough so far as my work responsibilities are concerned, and it's really gotten in the way of the momentum and the ability to allocate time to my own endeavors. It's been difficult. But when I really think about the whole grand scheme of the whole thing, what's a story without adversity? And if you want to call experiencing moments of demotivation and increased workload, yada yada yada, as adversity, then you can. So yeah, last night I was talking about baby steps. Talking about baby steps last night, and how so far as the things that I can do today to further my story and my progress for tomorrow, learning how to focus on one task at a time and seeing that task through to completion. That would be a really great skill. How has progress been today? There were two tasks that I really wanted to focus on today in relation to my job. Neither task has been fully completed. Each task has been barely tended to. And kind of sucks. Granted, the day is not over. I will continue working after I finish putting this shit away and call cut on the camera. But I'm just making an effort to be more transparent about the process. Be honest about who I am. And also, I just want to get in the habit of talking more. Since what I want out of this experience of life is to interact with people on a more consistent basis. If my dream job is to be this entrepreneurial leader that I have in mind for myself, then it involves working with people and communicating and talking, and through the consistency of posting these videos and talking to whoever's watching this, I get to work on that and develop that skill further, get in the flow of talking even when I might not be feeling like it, which is not to say that I don't feel like talking right now. I think it's more to say it's hard to hop on here when I'm not proud of myself, when I'm not feeling like my best self or really killing it. It's hard to show up, put myself on camera with this level of body fat when I have higher standards of myself, higher standards that I'm not meeting, that I have to make proper adjustments in order to meet. So that's kind of where we are right now. I would say that the good news is, if there is any good news, I acknowledge that there's no guru out there for me to show me the way. I don't think there ever has been. Sure, there's plenty of information out there on how to improve your life, change your habits, get better discipline, all that good stuff. And I've watched a couple of videos. I've paid attention to successful people who have similar aspirations as mine. Alex Hormozi being one example. David Goggins being another example. And, the list can go on. And I get it. I was talking to my dad the other day. He was in town a couple weekends ago to spend time with his grandson, my son, for his birthday, my son's birthday. And we were in the car going back to his hotel, and we were talking about individuals like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, the greats out there who dedicate excessive amounts of time, energy, focus, dedication to becoming the greatest in their specific endeavors. And my father and I both arrived at the understanding that we as individuals don't really possess that unyielding desire to conquer all competition in our relative fields. And when I say conquer all competition, I mean obliterate and cement yourself as the greatest in whatever thing that you are choosing to be the greatest in. My father, for example, he is a criminal defense attorney, and he prides himself on being a very good one. Does that mean that he has it within himself to be known across the state of New Jersey where he practices that Mark Fury is the best criminal defense attorney? Or is he satisfied with the level of renown that he's acquired simply by being himself and simply by performing at the level that he knows that he's capable of, and not feeling the need or the desire to perform at a higher level? There's nothing that compels him to do so. You can also take saxophone, for example. My father loves playing the saxophone. And yeah, he's got a big ego, and he likes to make bold claims like, His ability to improvise with the saxophone is better than his rivals or his peers in the same in jazz, wherever he plays. But again, it goes back to the compulsion. Is he compelled to practice the sax every single day for 5 hours so he can prove not only to himself but to everyone else around him that his skill is unrivaled? No. No, he does not have that within him. And I hate to say it, nor do I. So how do we succeed? How do we achieve supreme success if we don't have that thing, that burning, unyielding desire that we can point to other competitors and identify? It's like a commonality. Can you develop it? Can you just say, oh, I want that, and then get it? I don't know. Maybe it is within me. Maybe I just haven't unlocked it yet. Maybe my goal of telling the greatest story of all time, the greatest success story, with an arc that is just so comprehensive. Maybe that goal, I can find the fire that's appears to be necessary in order to achieve greatness. Which is strange, because it's not like I haven't been called a great man before. But what have I done? What have I done to earn such a title, or to be described as in such a way? Nothing. And the only way for me to achieve great things, accomplish tasks that are hard to see through, it's gotta be something. It's gotta be burning. It's gotta be burning. And hard days at the office can't be enough to knock you off the path. Just a little difficulty, things not going as planned. None of that can be enough to put out the fire that's burning within. So the question is, how do we fuel the fire? How do we make it burn as hot as Michael Jordan did? Serena Williams. Shit. Michael Jackson. Beyonce. What gets you out of bed at 6 o'clock when you want to stay in bed for a couple more hours and sleep? A mixture of motivation and discipline. What gets you to the gym when you don't feel like going? Where does the pursuit come from? Yeah. Questions worth answering. Questions worth asking. Pretty much on any given day, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about my chances. And when I say chances, I mean figuring this whole thing out, becoming the person that I want to be. I wouldn't say I'm supremely confident. Maybe I would. Nah, I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident I'm going to figure this out. And, I wish I could hop on here every single day and put forth the best version of myself, because that is the way that I would like to get paid. Being inspirational and telling people my story and how I had to change myself in order to become successful. But instead, we're here, and this is a glimpse to the version of myself that does not have it all figured out. Hello. Flawed. Still so much to learn. Still so much to put into practice. It's rough. It's rough. But again, I remain optimistic. Why, Sean? Probably because I've always been optimistic. Life has been so good to me. Nothing bad has ever happened to me. The one thing that threw me for a loop was the birth of my son, because it was very unexpected, and I didn't think that such a life-changing moment could occur without my say-so. And it was the first time in my life that I felt that I had no control over the situation. And it was a shock. I was in denial that I even had a son for the first year of his existence. I remember I would go to his mother's house where he'd be hanging out, growing as a 1-month-old, and I'd be holding him in my hands, this small baby, and he'd be looking up at me, and I'd be feeding him. There's a picture that I'm thinking of, and in that picture I can just see this numbness across my body and my face. And when I look at that picture, I recall just how much I rejected the reality of the situation. Now when I look back on those times, I regret it, because I wasn't fully present for the first year of my son's life. And I'll never get that back. I'll never get to go back and cherish the beautiful creation that my son was that first year. I'm glad things didn't stay that same way in my mind, and I was able to learn to adjust and appreciate something that is not what I wanted to happen, but the beauty that occurred as a result of someone else's desires and how it affected my life. I'm grateful. Does it make me a better man? I don't know. Probably Probably. I don't know. I like to think that I was always going to end up the same way. If my son wasn't here, I think I'd take bigger risks financially. I don't think I'd be working the job that I have right now. Perhaps the existence of my son has made me more conservative in my decision making. Not saying that's a good or bad thing, just the thing. I think I was always going to end up going down the same path, with or without an unexpected child to be thrown into the mix. Outwardly, my life changed, but inwardly, not really. I guess the thing that I'm thinking about right now is how much the person that you're looking at right now, how much does that person have to die, have to evolve, have to transform in order to become the most successful version of myself? Sort of why I like the body transformations, because it's so physical, it's so easy to point to. Take, for example, today, if I were to step on the scale, I would weigh at around 205 pounds. Now, if I were to lose 30 pounds and end up at 175 pounds, that's a body transformation, and you get to look at the difference. How the fat has been trimmed, the vascularity, the aesthetic, the beauty of the lean physique. What does that look like for the mind? Something I've never achieved. Sure, I've gotten to points in my life where I'm dialed in, so to speak, and I'm flowing and I'm just in the pocket and getting work done, being productive day in and day out. But I can't sustain it. I've never sustained a high level of performance physically, mentally, in my habits. And I hate that. I truly hate that. And I can no longer allow outside factors to be a reason for getting derailed. I can't do that anymore. Otherwise, there's no story. There is no story. As long as you know it. As long as you know it. Gotta do laundry tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta do laundry tomorrow. Oh man. This is coming at you live from a 31-year-old man. It's even hard to call myself a man when I consider just how much needs to change in order to become the man. It makes me very frustrated. Frustrated because I feel like I should have this all figured out by now. I should be in the flow by now. I should be the apex by now. But I'm not. I'm not. baby steps. Baby steps is all we can do. So, as I put a conclusion to the little amount of cleaning up that I'm doing, what are we going to do now? I'm going to cut on this. I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to focus on the completion of tasks. Focus on the completion of tasks. And I guess that's it. What else is there to do? Thanks for listening to my musings. A little bit of a distended stomach. We're going to take care of that too, aren't we? Alright, well. Again. Catch you on the next one. Baby steps, man. All that momentum. Day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out.